Today is March 22nd, 2001. We're with Mr. Harry Langer, birth name Herschel Langer. My name is Florence Schuster. We're in Brooklyn, New York, USA, and this interview is in English. Hi, we're with Mr. Harry Langer in Brooklyn, New York. Today is March 22nd, 2001, and this interview is in English. Could you please tell me your name and spell it?
My name is Harry Langer, Langer. First name Harry, Harry.
And what is your birth name?
My first name is Herschel, born February 28, 1928.
And where were you born?
Żarnowiec,
And where is that?
that's Poland.
Could you spell Janovitz?
Yes, Zanowicz.
And where is that near?
It's near Sosnowiec, Krakow, Katowice.
And how old are you now?
I am now 72.
What was your father's name?
Father's name Abraham Langer,
And your mother's name?
Leia,
And her maiden name?
Lapfer.
Did you have brothers and sisters, or do you have brothers and sisters?
I had brothers and sisters. I had two brothers and two sisters.
And could you tell me their names and ages?
Yeah. My oldest brother was Israel Langer, and my other brother is Ruben Langer. My sister's name is Hannah Langer, and the other sister was Bela Langer.
And what are the age differences amongst you?
About 2 years, approximately.
And are you the oldest or the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
And so they're each 2 years older than you?
Yes.
And could you tell me what your relationship was like as a little baby, as a child?
Well, I went to public school. After public school, I went to Cheder, and my parents had a bakery in their own house, and they went to school, did our homework, and Poland was, like a very small city, population of maybe 1,000 Jews, and Gentiles but the same, and we had to work very hard to make a living. It's not like United States. And one day was inspection. The city came, the marshal, the mayor, and they closed up the business. And my parents were out of a job. This was in 1938.
Hey, can we hold on before we get to that? I
Yeah.
want to spend some more time talking about what your life was like before the war. Um, do you remember the address of your home?
I remember the street was Warszawska. The number of the house, I don't remember.
And when you were in your house and you looked out the window, what did you see?
See, very, very small houses. And in the winter, we had no roads, was all dirt. We had no cars. It was like Poland, very poor. We had to work very hard to make a living.
Did you have electricity?
No, we had no electricity, nothing. We had like lamps with petroleum we were burning. No electricity, no bedrooms, no nothing. We just, Poland was very, very, very poor.
How did you go to the bathroom?
We had in the outside, on the backyard. We didn't have any bedrooms in the house. We had to go outside in the backyard.
Did you have running water?
No, we had no running water. We had to use water from the river or in the city, in the center of the city. We had a pump, and we had to go there and bring water in pails that they carried on the shoulder. We had no running water whatsoever. No.
How did you know you were Jewish?
Circumcised. That was Jewish. My parents were Jewish.
Did you have a mezuzah on your door?
Yes, yes, we were Orthodox.
And what clothing did you wear?
We had clothing, like normal clothing. We didn't have buy clothing every week. We use clothing from all those brothers, children. We use once a year. On Pesach, my mother bought material, went to the tailor. We didn't have stores. You go out and buy a suit. You had to go to a tailor, make a suit. Wasn't like here in the United States. You could go in the street in the store, buy a suit, and go home. Took a few weeks until you make a suit. Go to a tailor, buy material, make a suit. And no cars. Only if you're lucky, if you're rich, you had a bicycle, a horse and wagon we had. That's all we had. Twice a week, a bus came. You want to go to Sosnovitz or Katowice, and then everybody was, oh, a bus is coming. But that's what we had. We had dirt, no roads like here in the United States. It wasn't convenient, very bad.
Did you have a radio?
No, we didn't have a radio. We had no electricity. We couldn't have a radio. No.
Did you get mail?
We get mail, we had to go to the post office. And we didn't have any mailman delivering mail to the house. We had to go to the post office and find out if we got mail. Yeah. We were delivered all to the post office. There was one post office there, yeah. No telephones, no nothing. We didn't have anything.
Did your family ever get any mail?
Sometimes we had an uncle in Sosnovitz, and that was my mother's brother, Klapfer, and sometimes he wrote, yeah, not too often, yeah.
Did you ever have occasion to go to Sosnovitz?
No, only when we moved there. When they closed the bakery, there was a violation. The inspection, they said the house is too old, and my parents were out of a job, so my my mother had a brother in Sosnovitz, name was Klapfer, and he said, come over there, we try to get you a job, look at you for a job for you.
And how old were you when you moved?
Our Avu was about 10, 11, 12 years old.
And what
And
year was this?
it was 38, 1938.
Now, this violation, what kind of violation closed your bakery?
Because the house was too old, and there were a lot of violations, and my parents said we tried to take care of it, but they said no, we have to close it up. And they came, they closed up the bakery, and after a while, my parents said, and we had to move to Sosnovitz. Called up my uncle, went to the post office, wrote him a letter, and we moved to Sosnovitz.
Before you moved to Sosnovitz, I just want to get a little bit more. Could you describe what your home looked like?
We were five children. We had a room and a little kitchen. We were we didn't live like we live in the United States. We have no water, we have nothing. We were very poor. We lived, we were satisfied. We had something to eat. Some people were worse off than us because we had a business. We had a bakery and a store. My mother was staying in the store. My parents were baking, and my oldest brother, he helped them. We were making a living, that's all.
How often did you go to shul?
In the shul, we in Saturday, but we had a cheder after public school. I went to cheder to a school like call a yeshiva like here. There was a cheder. I was young, and I went there. There was a big hall in the synagogue with different groups, and everybody had a table, and that was we learning. You had to read. I was young, was 10 years old, and I was learned. That was the yeshiva. There was a rabbi, and he was teaching us.
Did you have a shtibel where you would go to services?
Yes, we had a stiebel, we have a big shul, we had a few stiebels we have, yeah. We go in the evening, yeah, Mincha Ma'ariv, we went to the stiebel, yeah. In the morning, we davened in the cheder. already. Yeah. It was a different life, not like here in the United States, yeshivas, and was poor. We wouldn't afford, but we were happy.
Did you ever remember receiving a piece of jewelry from your grandfather,
No,
or
never saw any jewelry.
did you have a favorite toy or a favorite object?
I don't think so. We had any toys. When I was a baby, we didn't have any toys. In Europe and Poland, we didn't have any toys. Maybe some other people they did have, but we didn't have. No, I didn't have any toys. No.
Did you like to play ball?
Yeah, I was playing. I was a little boy. I playing soccer in Poland. They play soccer. That's what I played in public school. After school we had that open field. We played soccer. That's all. No baseball like here in the United. We didn't know anything about baseball. Soccer.
Do you did you go to public school?
Yes, I went to public school. Yes, after public school, I went to the Cheder, learn Hebrew. The rabbi there in the school, the different groups. And we learned Hebrew. Yeah.
Did you encounter any anti-Semitism in public school?
Well, we went together with the Gentiles, but we didn't know anything. I was a little boy. I didn't know anything about anti-Semitism, but probably it was. But I was too young. I didn't have anything to do with it.
On your street, were there any Gentiles that lived there?
In our street, most of them were Jews, but a few blocks away, there were living Gentiles. Yeah, but we had nothing to do with it. Yeah, nothing to do with them. Yeah.
Do you remember any anti-Semitism at all when you were a child?
Well, I heard about when it was a holiday like Christmas. People get drunk, and were drinking. Some violence over there, but I was young, but one with each other, but not special with Jews. They were fighting, but not, wasn't serious, no.
When you moved, tell me what your home looked like when you moved. How far away was one town from the other?
When I moved to Sosnovitz, was my baby 800 miles away, but 3 hours ride. But my parents, they went with a horse and wagon there, because whatever we had the belongings, we didn't have no. I remember I went with my sister, older sister. I went by bus. I was the youngest one. She took me with the bus. But my parents went with horse and wagon. Took him a long time. The bus took about 3 hours. The horse and wagon probably took a whole night. Yeah.
Do you remember what you took with you when you moved?
Well, we didn't have much to take. We took whatever the bed covers, or all whatever we had, some parts, furniture we couldn't take. We didn't have any. We didn't have too much furniture anyway. So whatever what we had, we took. I think was valuable things we took, but not big furniture we couldn't take because of the horse and wagon we couldn't take. Yeah, but we didn't have any what to take anyway, so. We lived a home and a little kitchen. 5 children, 7 people. So we didn't have a room like here in each child, a separate room. We lived all together.
How did you get along with your sisters and brothers?
Like sisters and brothers, like here. Sometimes we fight, sometimes we, like sisters, like usual, everybody else, you know. But most of the time we got along. Sometimes, we fight, but nothing serious. Yeah, yeah. My parents took care of us. Yeah, very nice. They were nice people in the city, in town. Yeah, weren't a big city, but we didn't have time. We went to school. We didn't have time to all these things. All busy. Yeah.
You're smiling. Do you remember something in particular that makes you smile?
Smiling. We were happy. We were happy. We had something to eat. We were happy. It comes on a holiday. We had once a year. My parents went to bought material, bought us a suit. And we went to a shoemaker. We couldn't buy a pair of shoes in a store. The shoemaker was making shoes themselves. It took them a long time, making from scratch. Here, you go out in the store, you buy a pair of shoes and try it on. We didn't have that. And it could be maybe in Sosnovitz, Katowice, a bigger city. Where I come from, Žarnovic, we didn't have so many stores. Very few stores, yeah.
So what was life like in your new town in Sosnovitz?
In Sosnovitz, also went to school, public school, also went to yeshiva, and until the 8th. Then my oldest brother, Solke Israel, they drafted into the Polish army.
What was that like? What was your reaction at home when he got drafted to the army?
Well, it was something different, surprise. We saw cars, a big city, and we had a lot of stores. It was different, like where I came from Żarnowiec. It was something different, but it wasn't, it didn't last a long time because the Germans came in 39.
But what about when was your brother drafted into the Polish army?
In 38, when we moved to Sosnovitz, he was drafted, yeah.
Did he write you?
No, no. A short time when the Germans invaded Poland. The Polish army didn't have anything, no big tanks or big trucks or something. They had bicycles. So uh, I heard, and then my brother got killed right away. Soon they invaded Poland. Was the whole colony got killed, and the army told us that nothing for that battalion was left. My brother got killed right away. Oldest brother was about 18 years old. Yeah. Later on,
And were you able to bury him?
no, we didn't hear nothing. They got killed. They didn't bring him home. They just told us that the whole battalion, the whole thing got killed when they were fighting with the Germans, the Polish army, a very poor army. So we didn't hear nothing. That's all.
Did you say Shiva for him?
Yeah, we couldn't eat shiva because it was a ghetto. We couldn't do nothing. We didn't eat shiva, nothing. No, because we couldn't. The Nazis came and
I'm sorry. Tell me, when what do you remember when the Germans came in first?
the Germans came in from the beginning. We starting a lot of noise and taking out people and killing people. So what happened? We had somebody in the same street, Gentile, and we were going to hide to them in the basement. And I remember I was a small boy, and the Nazis came in, Germans, and the Juden da, and the Jews, and the Gentile, the lady said, "No Juden, no Juden." She couldn't speak any German. No Juden, and we were hidden in the basement, so behind a curtain someplace. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Wherever they found when they came in, they took them out right away, and then they killed them. We heard the noise. This was 39.
Did you before you were hiding, did you see anybody being killed?
We heard the shooting, we heard the noise. So in the same block, we ran into a basement. We didn't have a basement where we lived. We were hiding there. A lot of people went out and see what's going on. So we went to hide to Argenta in the basement. And then we heard the noise, shooting, all the noise when they came in with the motorcycles, with the cars. We heard big noise, yeah. So we were scared, so we went to hide.
Do you remember your neighbor's name?
Yeah, no, Potak, I know was the name, and then I had a uncle, my uncle, where we moved to Sosnovitz, was name also was Klapfer, also this is my mother's brother. We lived in the same area, in the same house, approximately, yeah.
What was the name of the street where you lived in?
Ulica Pańska. Pańska, a Polish, Ulica Pańska. It was a big, big noise. They let us know that they were here. But as soon as they came in, they started right away shooting, They
What was your
jumped.
relationship with the Polish Gentile that saved you?
Well, we lived in the same block, so we knew each other. They were nice people. So they had a basement. We know we were in the house. And then we knew them, so we went there, and he said, sure. She was taking a lot of risk, to hide us, But if they would find us, they would kill them too. But luckily, they went away. She said, no Juden, no Juden. So they went away. We were it was a miracle at that time. We were I'm here now. Because otherwise they killed a lot of people. They killed when they arrived. They surrendered to Poland, the
Can
German.
you tell me these people's names again? The Gentiles, what are their names?
Where we were hiding,
Yes.
I think Potaki, something like that was, yeah. And Potaki was the name, yeah. We knew them. They were neighbors. They were not too far away where we used to live. Nice people, yeah. So everybody was trying to get someplace. Nobody wanted to. Everybody got scared. They had shooting and everything else. That time, whoever they found the Jude, right away they killed them. This was the first thing when they occupied Poland, Sosnowitz. I don't know other cities, but Poland, Sosnowitz. Yeah.
What happened after you hid?
After we hit, then was they quiet down. They only from the beginning when they surrendered Sosnowitz, they start shooting. Later on, they quiet down. They went back to the houses. Then later, they made a ghetto. First, this was in 39, 40, 41, back to normal. And then we had to go surrender all the Jews in one place. So it was like a soccer field. And then they separate the young ones with the old ones. And the old ones, they right away they put them away. They put them someplace to Auschwitz or someplace. I don't know when it was.
Okay, we're jumping ahead.
Yeah,
Okay, let's after you hid with your mother and your father and your sisters and your brothers in this basement,
yeah.
what happened to you? What did you do?
Nothing. Later on, when it quiet down, we went back where we used to live in the same houses in the same house we used to live there. It was normal. Then later on, I started going to school again and everything else until they make everybody they took everybody out from the houses and then they separate the people
Okay, then they put you into a ghetto?
and then put you into
Okay,
get a
again.
Schrodela,
Okay.
yeah. And
Tell me
not
the name of the ghetto?
the name of the ghetto was Schrodela.
And where
Schrodel.
was this ghetto?
This was about a mile out of Sosnowitz, not far. It was, yeah, and they put us there.
How did you go there?
They took us there.
How?
They took with trucks, with the cars. They took us there. Everybody is out of the houses, and they took us there.
What did you take with you?
Whatever we could carry, whatever we couldn't take any furniture and nothing. Just whatever we had. We didn't have too much anyway, so we
But
couldn't.
what did you carry with you personally? What did
Well,
you take?
I had a little suitcase. There were little things. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe had the prayers. My mother had the talis and twiddle. And they took, all the Jewish article things they took. And nothing else we could take. We didn't have too much to take. Yeah, we whatever we had. Maybe had some money or what we had. We took along with us. We didn't have too much anyway. So otherwise we didn't have to take anything. They left everything inside. They didn't let us take everybody out of the houses, and that's it. Whatever we could grab, we took. Little things, not big things.
What did you have to leave behind?
Oh, we had wine. We had closing. We didn't have too much. We had a swarm shank. We had the furniture, whatever we had over there, dishes. We haven't too much. Yeah, that's all. We didn't have too much to leave there in Poland. We just moved. We didn't have anything much to take. Just the valuable things we took, some money, whatever. We didn't have no jewelry, no nothing that time. We didn't have nothing to take.
What were you told? Why were you told you had to leave?
They didn't tell us. They didn't ask us nothing. They said just everybody out from the houses, and they go take us in a different location. That's all. So I get it. They didn't tell us why. They didn't give any information why and what. That's it. That's we had to leave. That's all.
Did they have guns with them?
Sure, we were soldiers. Sure, that guns with them. Yeah, the regular soldiers. Yeah,
Describe what they look like.
they were tall with the green uniform. With those double heads, the heads they had on, they're very scary looking soldiers, you know. And they had guns on them, they had rifles and everything else, and we were scared to look at them. So we had to. They pushed us around, and somebody was late, didn't come right away out. They hit him, yeah. So everybody was running, yeah. And they took us there, yeah. It was very scary that time.
Did you see somebody being hit?
Oh yeah, sure. Some elderly people, they couldn't run, they couldn't. They were hitting them. Yeah, yeah. Some very young people, very young. Yeah. The elderly people, they left right away. They put him someplace. I don't know. I don't know where they took him. But the trains, cattle trains, they had that time over there near the field where we played soccer there. That all lined up trains, and the elderly people they took them. I thought Auschwitz was later, 41. Well, I know where they took him. They killed him. We never heard from them anymore. I remember I was standing on a roof in that time after they separated us, and I wanted to see where they're going. And when my father saw me, and he called my name, Herschel. He saw me, recognized me, and that's it. Was crying, and my mother was holding on to him, you know, and they took him away. That's all. It was very emotional.
You saw them take your mother and father.
I saw him, yeah, taking them to the trains. It was lined up trains over there near the field. I was watching. I was a young boy. We climbed up on the roof. Wasn't such high houses, and I saw him take him away. Yeah. And a lot of people, but I recognized my father recognized me. I was standing on top of the roof. Yeah.
And did you tell me again? Your father saw you?
My father saw me. He called my name. I remember it said Herschel. And he called me Jewish name Herschel. Now my name is Harry. So he saw me. He saw me. He looked. He was crying. And my mother was holding on to him. And that's what they took him away. Other people, yeah.
Were those the last words you exchanged?
Yes, that's all. That time I never heard from them. Never. No.
Before, when you were next to each other, was there anything else that your father said to you when he left you?
No, when we were at that soccer field, they right away separated us. The young ones on one side and the elderly people on the other side. We couldn't talk to each other. We were far away. It's a big soccer field. Yeah, we were the young ones were left and the old one right. They were all with the guards, with the soldiers. But we couldn't talk to each other. We couldn't do nothing. Just links and right, left and right, left and right. They showed us. And nothing, we couldn't talk to each other.
This is tape two on March 22nd, 2001 with Mr. Harry Langer. Mr. Langer, I want to go back to the ghetto. How long did you stay in the ghetto?
In the ghetto, we stayed months, a few months. Then later, we went to concentration camp.
Well, tell me what it was like in the ghetto.
In the ghetto, every day was, I think, winter time. They took us out to shovel snow. I remember from Sosnovitz, they took us by trucks, by train, they took us to Katowice, and we were shoveling snow. I was a young boy, and it was very bad. They gave us very little to eat, and then until they sent us to concentration camp.
Did you pray in the ghetto?
We prayed ourselves, but we couldn't go out. We didn't have any synagogue to go to pray. Whatever we took along the Siddur and the House and Tefillin, what we pray every morning, that we prayed in the house if we could. But we couldn't go out to we didn't have any Stiebel any synagogues to go and pray. So just to ourselves we pray.
Charge in the ghetto.
In charge of the ghetto was the Germans were in charge of the ghetto.
And who was telling you, and what kind of rules did they give you?
Kind of what?
What kind of
Food,
restrictions, what kind of rules did they give you?
what to do in the morning. In the morning, whoever they right in the morning, they took us to work. They took us to do things. Shovel, I was shoveling snow. You know, other people, I don't know, maybe did some other hard labor work, whatever, on the highways or something they do in the city. And that's all we did a few months ago.
And where did you live in the ghetto?
We have the different locations. I lived with my sister, my brother, until we went to Costa. We lived together. Maybe we had too much room. We had a few bunk beds. We had a few very little room there because there were a lot of people were there until they sent them away. It was like a bungalow colony. That ghetto there was like a concentration camp. Yeah, but
So tell me, describe this a little. You were with your sister?
yeah, I was with my sister. The older brother wasn't there anymore. He went to the army. I was with my other brother, and then I was with one sister. One sister stayed in Janowitz because she didn't move to Sosnowitz. She stayed with her uncle. She had an uncle in Janowitz, Bela. She was the older sister, and she stayed over there. And I had later on, when the Germans arrived, they took the whole city after we moved to Sosnowitz, and then they put them someplace. They went on either Auschwitz or someplace else. They took them away and they killed them all. It was a small city. But we lived in, they took us in Sosnowitz, the concentration camp.
How did you find out what had happened to your sister?
Because some people, they live now in Israel, and he told me that the whole city, he escaped. Yeah, I don't know how he's alive now. I think he escaped that time. And the whole city, they had the Nazis sent him away and they killed him. But he got away. He's still alive. Matter of fact, I spoke with him, when was it, 2 weeks ago. My son was in Israel, and he put him on. I said, how come you're alive? He said, I don't know how you got away. He's the only one from his family he got alive. His name is Gold. Gold is his name. He lived in Scharnowitz. He knew him very well.
What's his first name?
His name, the Gold, the first name, I forgot already the first name. Gold. He is still alive. He
And
li-
where in Israel does he live?
he lives in Israel. He lives in I don't remember Shalim. I think in Shalim he lives. Yeah, also a religious guy. Yeah, yeah.
So I just need some clarification of what it looked like exactly when you lived in the ghetto. Were you in a room, in a house?
Was like a camp, was a little like a bungalow colony. It was little houses. We lived all together in the same. The whole every family lives in the same bungalow, in the same room, whatever it was. There was a few bunk beds over there, where there was more people. That's where we lived over there, like a camp.
So it was only your family, no other families?
Yeah, sure. Wasn't on the house. Was big housing, big camp, like a concentration camp. It was a ghetto there. A lot of families lived, but each family lived separate. Yeah,
And how did you get your food?
they gave us like in concentration camps. They gave us a little bread, they butter, like product. They gave us every day, every other day, whatever it is. They gave us something to eat. Yeah. The Germans they gave us because we couldn't work, we couldn't do nothing, we only work for them, but they gave us some food, yeah. Wasn't too much, but we could survive on it, yeah.
Did they tell you anything about why you were staying there or where you were going to be going?
No, they didn't tell us nothing. Until one day they came out and they say we're going to a labor camp.
How did they tell you that?
Because we had everybody out and we have to go in a special building over there. From that building, I don't remember the name of the building, and from that building they sent us to a concentration camp. This was the first concentration camp, was Brande. Yeah, from that time. It was a labor camp, yeah.
So how were you transported from the ghetto to the camp?
By train. They took us by train. The cattle trains. They took us there, and we arrived there nearby, and then
Wait, you're going quickly. Stop.
yeah.
How many people were in the train with you?
Well, the place is a lot of wagons, so maybe 20, 30,
But
or
in your car, in your tr
30, 20, 30. Yeah, not remember exactly, but we were piled in, yeah, and they took us over there.
how long was the trip?
Oh, a long time. I don't know. Hours, maybe overnight. I don't remember exactly. It was a long time. A long time we were riding the train, yeah.
How did it smell?
It didn't smell so good. What do you do? They didn't have nothing. They stopped the train. I think they stopped on the way the trains and then tell us whoever has to go. We had to go out and go in back with guards, with guns on the train. They're watching us. And that until we arrived in the camp, wherever we had.
Wait a minute. I want to get some more detail here. What happened if somebody had to go to the bathroom on the train?
I told you they stopped the train. Whatever it was in a few hours, and it says whoever has to go to the bathroom should go out in the field and back into the train. They were watching us with the guns, and they stopped the train. Yeah, they had their way where and what in a few hours, and they say we come so and so. Whoever has to go to the bathroom, we go out and back in, and so, and they were watching us, the guards with the guns. Yeah, and the trains were no bathrooms.
Did they give you water?
Water? I think we had some water. Yeah, we had water. They gave us along some food. We had some water too. Yeah, we took along some water bottles. So then we had some water. We had some. Yeah. Until
You were still with one brother and two sisters at this point? Or one sister?
in the ghetto, I
No, on the
was
train.
on the train. We weren't together. No, all separate. The sisters, the girls were separate, and the men separate. We weren't together. No, even my brother, one brother went to the army, got killed, and the other brother, he was in a different, he went in a different camp. We weren't together. It was all by myself. And my sister, I heard somebody in Auschwitz, he was sick, and they killed her because I had a cousin. and she survived after the war. And she knew my sister, and her name was Hannah. He says, "Yeah, I saw her. She got sick. And they killed her." And this was in Auschwitz. Yeah, must have been 1942.
When you arrived in Branda in the first camp,
Yeah.
what happened when you got off the train?
When we arrived in Brande, there was a forest and there was some bunks over there, and they said there was a gate. They said all the belongings we should leave the outside. Whoever we find anything bring in, we get killed. So someone was a religious, very religious guy. The name van Kshanov, name I remember that now, Bornstein. So he had a pet tefillin. You know, a pet tefillin, what you use for pray every morning. So he was hiding it on himself, and he brought it in to the camp. And sometimes a couple, when we exchanged the clothes inside, they gave us those uniforms with the name Jude. He found a pet tefillin on that man, and he reported it to the Wache, to the Germans. And next day they killed him. Yeah, the screens and the camp. They put them in the washroom, and they hid him, and they pour cold water. And then the next day they called us up. He says, "That's what you get if you don't obey the law. If you don't do what we told you, you leave everything out. You don't do it. That you get killed. From now on, that's what you get."
Describe to me again what they did with the cold water on him.
They gave him lashes. They gave him, but till he died, with the lashes, they pour cold water on him. They pour cold water, and they hid him until he died. We had all the screens in camp was so loud. It was screaming, and that they told him that what he did, because he didn't leave. He put in a pet tefillin on himself. He didn't want to leave it outside. He told him not to. If you don't obey the law, that's what you get. And they killed him right away because of that. The Germans. The copper saw it when they changed the clothes, and they reported it to the Germans.
Do you remember the nationality of your capo?
He was Jewish couple. All the couples were Jewish. No, we weren't together with Gentiles. Gentiles were separate. All Jewish couples. They did it because they got good to eat. They get everything, whatever we left outside. Some people took along some food, something, everything they took for themselves. That what the Germans gave them everything, that they should punish the Jews. So they were all Jewish couples, but they worked together with the Germans. Best friend, because whatever they saw something or a Jew did bad, they right away reported to the Germans.
Do you remember your capo?
Yeah, the name of couple was Rosenzweig. I remember, when was it, maybe 20 years ago, I was on Union Square on 14th Street in Manhattan, and I recognized that guy. And he looked at me. I wanted to call the police and arrested him because he gave me plenty lashes, that guy. And soon he saw me. He ran back into the train, and the train left. He recognized me. My name was Rosenzweig.
Do you remember his first name?
Oh, his first name I don't remember. I remember Rosenzweig was his name. I don't remember his first name. He plenty people he killed. That guy. He killed that guy with the pair twill, or he smuggled what he brought in, not supposed to. The guy he killed him. he reported to the Germans that he found a pair Jewish tefillin what they use every morning to daven, and then they killed him. They poured cold water and lashes him until he died.
Do
This was
you
the same guy.
do you
Was
remember what town he was from?
I think Bielitz, they say. It's in Germany. Bielitz, Poland, I don't know. Bielitz, it must be. That's, I think it was in German. He spoke German. Yeah, the guy Bielitz. If I see him now, I would recognize him. Because I plenty, suffered plenty from him, that guy.
What did he do to you?
Whenever he sees me, he calls me up. He made you work. Makes you clean out the bedrooms, and you know the bedrooms are all the way out in the backyard. And he made you sweep, and made you clean the camp. Even he came home late. He was supposed to go to sleep. He was very bad. That guy was worse than the Germans. Some couples, you know, for food, for they were against everybody. Yeah. Yeah, well, he's not the only one. Was more couples there, but this particular man, it was terrible. Yeah.
You mentioned that you received beatings, lashings. Did you receive lashing?
Yes, because at night when we went to the bathroom, so we had to watch. If we had our names on, let's say from 12 to 2, and if somebody doesn't return, we have to make a report to the couples. There was separate barrack in the building, and what happened? My luck was that couple went around with the Gestapo, with the Germans, and trying to control, see how we doing in the building. So everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. So what happened? They came in, they saw my name, and they say who had the last watch? Who was the last watchman? Was my name, and a guy after me, before me. And they didn't find anybody. So the next morning, he called us up and he said, he gave us 25 lashes. Me and the other guy. He said, I'm not supposed to go to sleep until the other guy wakes up. And I was so tired, and I called the other guy. The other guy didn't want to wake up. So I was so tired, I had to go to work the next morning. I had to get up early in the morning. So that's what you get. And he gave me 25 lashes, and the other guy 25 lashes. I was limping, and you weren't allowed to say that you're sick. You say you're sick, they say, okay, we take you to the emergency room, and they give you a needle, and that's it, and you die. So what time I was limping, and I went to work. I says, please, let me go in the center. The Nazis shouldn't see that I'm limping, you know. I was a young boy then, you know, so I survived. But other people, whoever say they're sick, they never got out of the emergency room. They killed them.
How did you know that?
Because we know the people from the inside the camp, they say don't say you're sick because these people, because we buried these people. They took me once too, and the people from whoever went in there, they never came out. They buried them. They killed them. They give you a needle, and then they put you to death, and then they buried them right outside the gate. It was a forest, you know, but a half a mile away, And they make one hole. I remember putting 10, 20 people in one ground in the ground, for 20 people, and they buried them. That's what they took the young people to dig the hole and buried them there.
Did you see that?
I did it myself.
Tell me.
They took me too. Once the couple took me, he says, come, we have a funeral, we have a thing. They took them out, we had the wheelbarrows, we took these dead bodies out, and then we dig the hole, and then we throw them in, and we covered them. Yeah, it was in the forest, yeah, special place there. We killed them. All these people who went in into the sick people, they never treated them. They killed you right away. They got so many people they don't know what to do with them.
Were you ever able to talk to the people you worked with?
What? No, no, we weren't allowed to talk. We worked. We had separate. We were digging for pipes, making holes. We had to make, like say, about 4 feet, but 3 feet for digging in the ground, so many feet deep and wide. And if you didn't do it in time, they were hitting you. They gave you lashes. You have to do it. You didn't have time. You didn't have time to breathe. We had to be very young. We were in special. It was cold. We had to work very hard. Otherwise, you freeze to death. It was cold already. Winter time over there, they were laying pipes for something, or we were cutting trees. We didn't have time for nothing. And then at 12 o'clock, and they came, a truck, and they gave us a plate of soup. We have to fish to find a piece of potato. It was nothing. In the morning for breakfast, they gave us a bread, a little round bread for 4 people for 2 days. A little, around maybe with a pound or something like that. Some people ate it up at once, and some people divided it for the next day. That and then a piece they gave us in the beginning a piece of margarine, and in the beginning they gave us some cigarettes too. I sold my thing from the beginning to get a piece of bread, and some people they were smoking cigarette. They didn't exist. They couldn't take it anymore. They died right away because.
You said you sold your cigarette. How
No,
did that
no, no, I
work?
didn't. So they gave us in the beginning. The Germans, like they gave us the bread, they gave us, let's say, cigarettes too. They gave us cigarettes. I sold the cigarettes for bread. I
How
took
did that work? How did
for the other guy. The other guy got bread, and he was a very a smoker. He couldn't live. He was the older people too. Wasn't so young than me. So he gave me the bread, and I gave him the cigarettes. So it didn't last long. He even smoked cigarettes from the trees, from the leaves. When we were smoking cigarettes. If a German throw away the end of the cigarette, 10 people were running after it. And they were very. Some people they smoke, they can do without.
if there was a time where you were able to exchange the cigarettes for the bread,
Yeah.
what things did you talk about during these exchanges? And what was the kinds of conversations that you had during the little period that you were able to talk to each other?
In the morning when they give out the bread, it says you want the bread for the cigarettes? What is 6 cigarettes? I give you my bread. As I said, yeah, if you want to sell it, some people did that and some people didn't. From the beginning, I sold. I gave the guy whatever he wanted, the cigarettes, and he gave me his bread. Yeah. If I didn't take it, he sold it to somebody else. Yeah, not on to me in the morning. Before we went to work, they gave us in the morning coffee and bread and butter, like a breakfast. Yeah. And then at work at 12 o'clock, they came around with trucks. They gave us a plate of soup. And in the evening, we came home. They gave us still a soup. So what happened? We had carts Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And whenever you go to get the soup, this was in camp already, like a kitchen, like a hall. So what happened? They punched your cart, like Sunday, like a conduct on a train. Was a little piece, a round piece, comes out, like let's say Sunday, right? And then you took your soup, your meal. So what happened? I went there and they punched my cart, and the little piece didn't fall out. So then I took my meal and I looked at the card and I tried to push back that little round piece like I didn't have no meal. And I came back and I ate up my meal, the first one. I came back and I showed him the card, and my plate was already by the window there. And the guy saw it, that the round piece didn't fall out. I pushed it back in. He grabbed me over here and he banged me in my head. And I dropped the plate of soup and had a face like this. He says, that's what you get at high. Was I tried to get, I was so hungry, I wanted to get another plate of soup. So that's what happened to me also. There's also Brande also.
Who did you sleep with in Branda? What were your sleeping conditions?
Oh, we had bunk beds also. We had bunk beds. In the beginning, we had two people. In some camps, I remember one camp, we had four people in a bed, two and two, two in the front and two in the back. There were so many. The camp, it was so big. I think it was those door. We had four people.
So who was the person you slept next to?
I think I remember. Same city, if I know him, I remember. But somebody, they took me to the station again, all from different cities and everything. I don't remember anymore the names.
Were all of the prisoners Polish?
Most of them were Jewish. It was Gentile. The Gentiles had separate. We did sometimes we had an extra shirt. We got another shirt from the camp. We sold them the shirt to the gate. They were passing by. They went to work without anybody. They had better than us, the Polacks, and they gave us a piece of bread and we gave them a shirt. But we weren't together, the same camp.
Were there other nationalities besides Polish?
I was Ukraine. I think it was Dora. There was a crematorium when they ate the dead bodies. They burned it on the fire. It was such a hunger that time. Yeah, it was in Dora. I had to tie my shoes to my neck because otherwise they stole your shoes. They throw you down the window from the first floor. It was so bad. The Russians, the Ukrainians was one camp Dora. Was one camp I was with Ukraine. Yeah.
Did you see this happen in Dora or did you hear about it?
I seen it. I seen it happen. I didn't have to hear. I seen it. People were screaming and yelling. They don't care. There were so many people over there. There was nothing to eat. They had no shoes to wear.
People were screaming about what?
They were hitting people, throwing them down the window, and grabbing the shoes. They had the shoes tied at night by the neck because they were stealing. They had no shoes. There was snow outside. They had wood shoes, and they didn't have no shoes. Some people wear rags. Had to go to work. You had no shoes. It was winter. So they stole the shoes and they killed the guy. It was screaming and yelling. We could hear it. We weren't only. We were 100 people, 200 people, one bunk beds, one area, so we could hear it.
Okay, we'll get back to Dora in a minute. I want to go, we'll go ahead to Dora later on. Let's go back to Branda.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, yeah.
how long did you stay in Branda?
One stayed also about 7 months, 8 months. One guy escaped, and they caught him, and they brought him back to camp, and they digged a hole in the ground, and they put him down till the neck, and they put food in front of him, about 2 feet away, and he couldn't move, just the neck was sticking out, and he stayed there until he died. When we came back from camp, from work, and then we had to walk around, showed us, he said, that's what you get, punishment, if you try to escape. That was in Brande also.
What was your reaction to that?
The reaction that people got scared. People didn't try. Some people tried to. They didn't care for their life anymore, so they dig underneath the gate, and then some people tried to escape. They think anyway, whoever escaped, they have dogs and everything else, and the fire soldiers running around there, and then they caught the guy. They brought him back, and that's what they killed him. They showed the people that's what happened if you try to escape.
We're going to change tapes.
Okay.
This is tape 3 on March 22nd, 2001 with Mr. Harry Langer. Mr. Langer, after you saw this man being horribly put
Punished.
to his death slowly, um, what what did you talk about with the people in your bunk?
Tell you the truth, people didn't they only lived day by day. They didn't care anymore. It was so bad. You worked so hard, so people took chances. They catch him, they catch him. They didn't care about their life. They tried to do just live one day, day by day. That's all. The life it was nothing for a person. A person was nothing. Just was like a worm, like a was nothing. Mosquito. Yeah. So they kill people. So many people every day. I went once to work in a truck, and I was sitting in the back on the truck. It was so filled up the truck with people. And what happened? I said at the end, in the back of the truck, they opened up, and three people fell out. I was one of them. I fell on top of the others. The others they didn't make it anymore. They broke a leg or arm. I was lucky. It was a miracle. I didn't break anything. I just was bruised. So I was able to make it. The other one, they took him into the revier and they killed him because he broke a leg. Then I could put in a cast on the Germans, and enough people. But it was luckily the back opened up. The truck was so many people there that by luck the back opened up. It was a truck. The back is that higher. The back we piled on top of each other. And I was one of them, and then I fell down. But
And after you fell down, what happened?
I was a little hurt, but I didn't say nothing. I just went back to work, make believe nothing happened. Because if you say you're sick, they take you back to the hospital. They put you in the emergency room, and that's it. You don't survive anymore. So that happened also in Brande. It was very, very bad.
So this truck standing still when the people fell out?
No, it was moving.
So I don't understand. If it was moving and you fell out,
Yeah. Well,
the truck left without you.
yeah, but the guard was in the back. He stopped right away the truck. There was a guard in the back. He didn't go by itself. There was always a guard in the back, and he told him to stop the truck. And that's it. And then he went back. When the other guys they took right away. They called up the thing and they took him back to the hospital. And they put him in the emergency. No, he killed him. We didn't go by itself. They always have a guard in the back, a German, with the rifle.
Did you pray?
We prayed as much we can. We didn't have no books. We didn't have nothing. Whatever you remember, you prayed by heart. But we didn't have no Jewish Siddurim or something. Whatever we know, we prayed. Said Modiani in the morning, whatever, Krishma, whatever you remember, you say by heart. Otherwise, in the morning, we didn't have no time to pray. In the morning, we have to get up. And if you went out with an unsale, they counted the people who had to go fast. It didn't make you have to run fast out and stay in line. They counted the people, and some people came late. They were starting hitting them with the leather things, and they couldn't make it. And then after that, after unsailing, they counted the people and they see everybody didn't escape. And then later we had to had to lay down and stand up, lay down, stand up. And they had dogs and everything. Whoever could make it, they were jumping on the people and start hitting people in the morning. Van anselen. After that, it's exercise in the morning. You had to run 2, 3 feet and get up. Run. I was young, I could, but was other people that were older than me, they couldn't do it. They were older people, they couldn't do it. They got hit with the Germans, from the coppers. They're trying to punish the people. They tried to get rid of them. They didn't care about anybody at that time. Yeah. They had so many people, they don't know what to do with it. Some people, they came, they call us Seucher, some German came, and then we stay in line. He looked at the guy, he says, you, links, you right. They took him to another camp. They needed some strong guys for hard labor. And then they took him to another camp. I never liked to go to another camp, unless they liquidated the whole camp. Otherwise, it was never good when they take you to another. Some people needed, some Germans needed some hard labor work, so they took him away from this camp and sent to another camp until they liquidated the whole camp and went someplace else. Yeah, it happens. We didn't care anymore. We didn't care what's going to happen in the future. We didn't think about. We only were thinking about have something to eat and survive. That's all. We didn't care about what's going to happen with his other families. We forgot all about it because we were working so hard and no food, so we didn't have time to think about anything else. Yeah, that's all. They tried to punish to kill the people. They didn't think about anybody there. They do their job. We work for the city, digging, laying pipes, or cutting trees. All the construction work we did for them, and everything by hand, with a wheelbarrow, cement, carrying up bricks from one flight, the second flight. All hard labor work we did. All the concentration camp. They didn't care about anybody. And now they don't want to give us anything. They say this and this. They try to get some money now from Germany, fill out some papers. Says no, this and this and this and this. They try to they wait until everybody is not here anymore. It's, well, after the war, what is 45? It's 55, 56 years. We didn't get anything yet. The hard labor.
Did you have a number tattooed on you?
No, we not an arm. We had I had numbers over here on my uniform, but I don't remember them. Maybe 6 or 8 numbers. So in the beginning, we had a star am Morgendorf in the first camp, but in KZ we had numbers. But I don't have any numbers on my arm. Some camps, Auschwitz, others they had numbers on the arm. I don't have any. No.
How long did you stay in Branda?
Also months, 7 months, 8 months, something like that. Yeah.
And then where did you go?
Brande, I think Klettendorf. I went to Klettendorf. I was working there on unloading
Were you transported from Branda to Klettendorf?
train.
So are you still in Poland?
Uh, Klettendorf.
Uh-huh.
Klettendorf, I think it's Germany.
So you weren't in Poland anymore.
No, no.
Was Branda in Poland?
Brandes also not. No, that was a forest. It was all a forest. They were building barracks over the bunks over there. Everything was in the forest. Not no city, no nothing. Yeah, most of them were in the forest.
So you don't know if it was Germany or Poland.
I think it was Germany, but the name, Buchenwald, Dora, that's all German names. Bergen-Belsen, I know it's Germany. I know. Yeah.
So you were in Klettendorf, and what was your job in Klettendorf?
Blender was unloading trains with iron, those tracks for the relay for the trains, all hard labor work over there. You're unloading, loading, unloading over there.
What were the circumstances that got you to leave Branda?
We had no choice. They came. They say they need workers here and there and there, I had no choice. They took me. My name was on. They transferred me. I have nothing to say. This is their idea. We don't know anything about it. He says, you, we have nothing to carry. We had no suitcase, no nothing. Just they came. The trucks came, took us to the train and everything with the guards, and we are going. We had nothing to say. Where we didn't even know where we went until we got there. That's all. We had nothing to carry, nothing to be prepared to take. Nothing.
What time of year was it that you made this transfer? Was it cold or warm?
Sometimes it was cold, sometimes it was warm. I was about 7, 8 different camps. Yeah,
Well, let's go in order. From
yeah.
Branda to Klettendorf, was it cold or was it warm?
The Brande to Klettendorf was about was warm. It was October, August, September, October. Was fall wasn't so cold. Wasn't, yeah.
And how long was the transport?
Sometimes overnight hours. So I don't remember exactly. We didn't count it. Yeah, it was a long time. Yeah, until we got there. And yeah,
Did you ever try to get in touch with your sister?
no way. How could we had no phone? How could we get in touch? We didn't see from the beginning. They didn't give it. Letters arrived. The first camp, whatever road. They never gave you any mail, any information, nothing, nothing. So from the beginning, maybe people sent some packages and everything. All the coppers took it for themselves, some food. That is only from the beginning. Later on, nothing. We didn't get anything in camp. I didn't get anything. No. They had a good time. They ate everything. All those coppers, whatever the Germans ate. They, they they were getting to eat because they getting good everything to punish the people. Yeah, that's why they work with the Germans, the coppers. The coppers sometimes were worse than Germans. Yeah, coppers. All Jewish coppers. Yeah,
Did you ever have any conversations with any of these couples?
you couldn't even talk to them. Whenever you look at them, you try to avoid them, to escape. You were scared for them. Anytime you look at them, they took you do some dirty work, and they were hitting you and everything. They weren't nice, the people. They weren't nice. That's what they got paid. That's what they got. They had food. They had nice clothes. They were wearing the long high boots. They were wearing. They were nice clothes, regular clothes. They don't wear the same uniform what we were wearing. They were treated very well. Yeah, but to punish the people. Yeah, that's what they did. Called copper.
And how long did you stay in Klettendorf?
Also the same time, but 6, 7 months. I don't remember exactly. Yeah.
And then where did you go?
So I went to, I think, Landeshut. Was Landeshut?
And what kind of work did you do in Landeshut?
And Landeshut also did construction work. I did building houses, wheeling barrels with cement, and all the work, all the black work I did. I wasn't a mechanic, whatever needs to be done. Instead, machinery they had so many people, they know what to do with it. So we did everything by hand.
What was the administration like there?
What they were doing,
What
building.
was the, well, you described a great deal of brutality in Branda, like if someone
Yeah,
didn't behave the way that they had wanted, they
yeah.
were cruelly punished. Did this happen?
This happened in most of the camps. Happens the same thing. Yeah, yeah. In KZ, even if this was a concentration camp around the beginning. Later, KZ was even worse. That we had to work harder and give you less to eat in this KZ. And they had it had crematoriums and then and we had like uniform, the stripes uniforms. It was very cold. The males worked much harder and got set.
When did you go to Qatar?
Think of that was Dora and it was
Is Dora and Katzet the same?
Dora. All the cassettes were approximately the same. Dora had the crematoriums and the Kittelstreben. They all had crematoriums and very hard labor. And we had no clothes, and it was worse than Every camp was bad, but still, this was they tried to get rid of you. This is
How is it that you managed to survive on such little food?
so that everybody asks me. I said all my brothers and sisters didn't make it. I had a big family didn't make it, and a lot of people didn't make it. So it was a miracle. So I was young, and I wasn't sick. And I made most of it what I could. And it happens, it was a miracle, I will survive. But a lot of people didn't make it. So if I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be able to tell the story, right? What happened? So that's what happened. Most of the people didn't make it. Yeah, that's a mess,
It was a what? What did you say?
a miracle.
Yeah, but after
A
that, you
nest, a nest is called in Jewish a
a
miracle.
miracle,
A
a
miracle,
nest,
yeah,
a
yeah.
nest. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was Hebrew. Thank you. Um, Tell me, did you get to bathe every day or wash?
Now, we come to work. We have this and this bag, this and this bunk. Today, we take a shower. They give us no soap, or give us some kind of powder. Yeah, the outside a bed in camp. Yeah, maybe for 20 people. Yeah, we had a date which day each bunk should go. Yeah, yeah. After work when we came home. Yeah, we could go there.
When you left Landeshut, well, what did you do in Landeshut? Did you say construction work?
Yeah, landsuit also. Either construction work or forest, tree cutting. Yeah, most of the job was that kind of work. Yeah.
And then where did you go after Dora? I mean, after Landeshut. I'm sorry.
After landsuit, I went to Bunzlau or Dora.
And what did you do in Dora?
And Dora also the same thing we did, like in all the camps.
Could you describe what Dora looked like?
Although it was a very, very big camp, very big, thousands of people there. They were killing people there, working hard, and a lot of people didn't survive there in that camp. It was very, very hard. Though
Could could you describe to me a little bit more of what the whole place looked like? Was it underground?
in Dora, no, Dora wasn't underground. Dora was a big crematorium. Dora was Ukraine. They were eating the dead people. It was very, very, very bad. Dora,
How do you know the Ukrainians were eating dead people?
because we smelled it. We smelled it on the ground, the fire. I said, "What's going on over there?" Because they're they're burning the dead people. They're eating it. Yeah, the Ukraine, the Russians. That's what happened. That happened in Dora. Yeah.
You were hungry. Did you ever feel like you could do that?
No, no, I would never in my life. I would rather die, and I would never do that. No, it was religion. Never. Came from an Orthodox family. Don't forget. Yeah, yeah. I never smoked. I think once I did, but most of the time I tried to divide whatever get a piece of bread for the next day. I didn't eat it at once. Some people ate it at once and the next day they had nothing. Always try to manage to get something. Yeah.
Did you ever see anybody steal bread?
I didn't steal, but I saw somebody in the winter. The Germans keep the potatoes in the ground. So I had somebody, a cousin, her name Klapfer, and he tried to steal a potato from the ground. He was digging, and a cop outside the gate saw it, with a rifle. He shot him in the head right away. He died. This I never remember. Forget that. Yeah.
Where was this?
This was also in Klettendorf, I think. Yeah, under Klettendorf. So soon he was digging. The guard was walking around the gate, all around and outside the gate, and try. And also some guards, they were warning us that they showed you a piece of bread. They say, "Come to the gate." They want to give you something, some food, something. They are not allowed to shoot you when you're inside in camp. When you're near the gate, they're allowed to shoot you because they make a report that this guy tried to escape. When he tried to escape, they put out the gun, the rifle, and they shoot you right on the spot. Well, inside, let's say 100 feet, 200 feet, they're not supposed to shoot. But when you are reaching out, they make a report to the SS that somebody tried to escape. Somebody told us in the beginning, if somebody want to give you something to God, don't you dare go there because they will kill you. That's what happened. Some camps, yeah. We were warning.
You mentioned there was a crematorium in Dora. How do you know that?
We saw it. Yeah, it was a big, a tall building, and we smelled it. The smoke was going. We sometimes we were afraid to go around the campus. There come the guards. They say they call you, come here, you there, and then they send you into the crematorium. We were wanted. And when I saw something, a guard, I tried to hide. When I have to go to wash myself. And when I saw him over there, a couple of things, I tried to avoid him because I was always scared to look at him. You know, and some people they caught and they put him in. Yeah, it was all scary stuff. Every camp was a little different, but we knew if you're verschluffen, you don't pay attention, you get killed. They say, how come so and so you're alive and other people didn't make it? So that's what happened. Just luck, miracles. Nothing.
After Dora, where did you go?
After Dora, did I go to Bunzlau?
Or Kitzlitz-Streben?
Gitterstreben or Bunzlau?
Oh,
Gitterstreben. Gitterstreben was also bad. Bad, yeah.
what was that like?
And Gitterstreben was also, they punish people, and people try to escape, and then they punished them, and they killed people. And it was very bad, Gitterstreben also.
Tell me what you remember.
If you do something wrong, they put you, they have to dig your own grave, and then they put you by the grave, and you fall in the grave, and then they kill you. You don't obey the law, what they're supposed to do. All the bad things in the morning, you have to your bed. At night, the guards, the couples went around. In the morning, the beds have to be made of. When you get up in the morning, the blanket has to be straight, and everything has to be clean, and then the floor has to be swept up. There was always a Stuhlmelzsister, somebody in charge, and everything has to be clean, and everything has to be so and so. They come around at night. They watch the rooms. What they do, they see if everything is. Or people are watching. People go to the bathrooms and this and that, and you can see somebody come back. Otherwise, different punishments. Every camp has different punishments. Yeah, they try to get rid of you. All the KZ was worse than the concentration camp.
What is the difference between a KZ and a concentration camp?
concentration camp, you wear regular uniforms, you have a star. In a cassette, you wear those stripes uniforms, the thin uniforms, and they were more strict, and they have electric wires around, and the guards standing all the way on top in each corner. They were more strict. They make you work harder, they give you less to eat. Was a little harder, yeah. Give you no clothes, have no shoes. Some people wear rags on the feet, have no shoes in the winter.
So which ones were concentration camps and which ones were cassette?
Brande, Klettendorf, there was concentration camp. Landeshut, in Kittelstreben, Dora, all there were KZ. Buchenwald, all KZs.
After Kitzlitz-Streben, where did you say you went to?
Kittelstreben, we went to Buchenwald or Dora or Bunzlau. What, Bunzlau? Bunzlau, yeah. Bunzlau. Bunzlau went to Dora. To hit, no, Bunzlau went to Buchenwald. Buchenwald. And Buchenwald went to Bergen-Belsen. Bergen-Belsen was liberated in Bergen-Belsen from the British.
So let's take it in order. So you were in I believe you told me you were in I can't pronounce it.
Bunzlau.
Yeah, and what was that like?
Bunzlau was also a concentration camp and also working hard. Also was construction work over there.
Why did they transfer you from Kitzlitz-Streben to Bunzlau?
Sometimes they closed up the camp, and sometimes they needed people in that city. The people needed to be done some work for them. You know, they called up the Germans. They need some people over here. They always could communicate one with the other. There's always somebody from the Germans run around from one camp to the other camp. You take out from this camp, you put people in the other camp. Wherever they needed people, they transferred the people from one camp to the other. So sometimes they didn't need it, the camp, they closed it up. You get because always we get less people. They killed a lot of people, so they didn't need it, so they closed it up. And then in some places they built more barracks. They did construction work. They did some more bungalows. They built. They always needed people from one place to the other place. Yeah, that's why.
Were you in a group that always stayed together?
No, sometimes yes, and sometimes no. All depends what kind of work you need. Strong guys, smaller guys, easier work. Always different groups, but everybody has their own job. You're not allowed to talk to nobody. You're not allowed to communicate. Nothing.
And what was your job? What was your specialty?
Well, cutting trees, construction, laying pipes in the ground, digging, all different work. Whatever. Everybody had their own job to do. No conversation.
The next camp that you went to, I believe you told me was Buchenwald. What was Buchenwald like?
One was a big, large camp over there. I tried to get Buchenwald was already the end already from them. Buchenwald were trying to get rid of the people. From Buchenwald I went to Bergen-Belsen.
Tell me about Buchenwald. What was that like?
Buchenwald also was hard job, hard labor, hard work. We get up early in the morning and work hard and come back at night. Not much to eat. It was very bad. It was already the end already. It was 44.
If we're going to change tapes, okay?
Yeah, okay.
This is tape 4 on March 22nd, 2001 with Mr. Harry Langer. Mr. Langer, I'd like to just go a little bit more into the description of what it was like in Buchenwald. Could you describe Buchenwald to me?
Buchenwald is also like already a death camp, was almost the end. They tried to get rid of all the people, and I don't know, the Germans must knew that it would be the end of the war, so they tried to get rid of everybody as much they could. The labor was very hard, and there was very little food, and some people survived, and some people got sick, had typhus, and some people didn't make it.
I apologize. Earlier I got confused, but I understand that in Buchenwald there was an underground factory.
It was underground factory
Could you
also.
describe that part for
Yeah,
me?
but underground factory was what iron factory, all machineries, and some people worked and some people didn't work. Not everybody worked underground, but it was an underground place over there. People worked over there.
And what part did you have?
I worked in outside, but some people worked in underground. Yeah, it was different. Different. Not everybody worked in the same place. There was a lot of people over there, thousands of people, so it was a big camp. But it was very bad. They tried to get rid of you. Yeah,
What were the nationalities of the inmates in your company, in your where you were?
all Jewish people. Yeah, all Jewish.
But were they all from Poland or were they from different countries?
It was different concentration camp. I mean, different countries.
Could you tell me what nationalities?
So some people were from Holland, some people were before, some people were Hungarian, some people were Czechoslovakia, some people from Poland. Well, different, all different in all the different countries. So we, yeah, approximately, yeah, we
Did
didn't we didn't discuss, but we know, we knew by the accent, but people were talking here. Some people talk Hungarian, some people talk Polish, some people Yiddish. They're different people, different cities, different countries.
were you able to talk with them in the evenings?
Sometimes, yeah, we were able to talk, but we had nothing in common with them. Everybody mind their own business. Everybody try to survive, to get something. There's nothing. We didn't have time. They worked us so hard. We came home. We got something. We had to stay in line to get a plate of soup. By the time we went to bed, all of a sudden we have to get up in the morning, and sometimes you have to work in camp inside, clean up and everything else. So, well, not much in common with everybody. Everybody, some people were sick, some people were healthy, some people. So there's nothing to talk about it. Yeah.
You just said we had nothing to talk to them. We had nothing in common. Who do you mean when you say we?
I mean, whatever we are together in the same room, naturally we couldn't talk. We didn't talk to the coppers, to the Germans, whoever these people, the concentration camp. We were in the same colony, the same bungalow. So we had nothing. Everybody was tired. Everybody tried to get. Somebody had headaches. Somebody this, and not everybody was. So we had nothing in common with these people inside in wherever we slept with. Yeah.
Were there any conversations you had in camp that gave you hope? Because everything is so stressful. Everything is.
No, we didn't talk. We only well, to think about to survive. We only had in mind to get something to eat because it was so bad. Some people went to bed without eating. They eat for 2 days, and the next morning you have to go to work. It's not that you fool around. You're doing something. You go to sleep. You have to do hard labor. If you don't eat, you don't make it. So it was only thinking about something get to eat. Otherwise, we couldn't talk with relatives or sisters and brothers. What did you do? No, it was nothing to talk about it. No, it was so bad that only thinking about something to eat and what kind of work we will do tomorrow. We didn't know until we get to the work. They didn't tell us nothing. The couples, the Germans, they didn't tell us nothing. The only thing they were watching us. That's all. nothing in common.
What was the worst part, the worst time
The
in your
worst time was the first camp because we didn't get used to it yet. When we were in Brande, when we arrived, when they didn't give us much to eat, and they punished people, they put people on the ground, and then we had 25 lashes from the beginning. When I was watching, when people went to the bathroom, and then the guard and the copper came around with the guard and checking people, and we had to work very hard. We didn't get used to it. Later on, already, you know, we got used to it. We watched out for more things. What happened? We shouldn't get hit. We shouldn't. It was army was hard, but from the beginning we didn't get used to it. So it was the worst thing. The first concentration camp was Brande. Yeah, it was very bad because at home, whatever it was, we had something to eat. We had parents, so we were all by ourselves. We had nobody, so we didn't get used to it. It was very hard. The first concentration camp, Brande. Yeah.
what did you do to give yourself strength, to make yourself get by?
Well, you get your strength to hope miracles will happen and try to get try to get a piece of bread and to just to survive and stay healthy and some people they were working in the winter they freeze to death. You know, if you do exercise, if you move around, you were digging. Some people were standing there and they were froze to death because I don't know. Hashem gave me a seichel that I moved around. I tried to help myself and I did something. Sometimes I did some how you call it. Needlework, you know. I learned how to fix socks for a couple. One was one couple, and he gave me a piece of bread. It was a hole in the socks. He gave me thread, and and I learned how you call it to embroider whatever it is, and he gave me a piece of bread. Or sometimes I shined the shoes for the guy for a couple. For one couple, not all of them was that bad. So he gave me also another plate of soup, you know. So I tried to help myself. I wasn't, I say, verschluffen, like walking around and sleeping all the time. I tried to survive. I tried to. So Hashem he also gave me koyach and everything. I was healthy. I wasn't sick. And well, Hashem survived. And some people just couldn't make it because they were lazy. They didn't work. They got hit and then they got sick. Even you have to help yourself. That's all. That's all miracles happens that time. It was Beshet, a miracle that I survived. A lot of people just didn't make it. That's all.
So when you say Beshert, you mean it was destiny.
Yeah, right. Beshet is yeah, that I should survive. Yeah, that's what happened. Otherwise, some people just didn't make it. I mean, you have to do something about it too, and it doesn't come by itself, you know. You do something, God helps you, so you survive. Otherwise, you're lazy, you don't work, and you're sick, you're finished. That's it. So that's what happened. I was able to help myself. God gave me strength, and I survived. But other people, how about me? My other brother survived too. He died maybe 4 years ago here in the United States. He was sick. He survived too. That's the only two brothers. And the oldest brother went to the Polish army. He then never made it. And I had two sisters. They never made it. So
Do you know the circumstances of your sister's death?
one died in Auschwitz, and the other one she was by uncle in Jarnowitz. He didn't move to Sosnowitz, and then they came and they liquidated the whole city. It was a small city, and they sent them someplace. I don't know where. I never know. They sent them away, and they all got killed. I never heard from them.
After Buchenwald, where did you go?
Bergen-Belsen.
And how were you transported to Bergen-Belsen?
All but trains, all but train, all cattle trains. Yeah, we were Bergen-Belsen. It was liberated from the British.
How long did you stay in Bergen-Belsen?
Oh, this was almost 45, and we were liberated in April.
But how long did you
About
stay?
5 months.
For the 5 months that you were in Bergen-Belsen, can you tell me what you saw? What did you first see when you first came into Bergen-Belsen?
From Bergen-Belsen, we didn't do nothing. We didn't work. There was this was almost the end of the war. The Germans escaped, and the Hungarian soldiers took over. They were worse than the Germans. And we did some work there in camps and here, there, some little, not too much. We didn't work too much in Bergen-Belsen. This was the end because the Germans escaped already. They're scared. They know the war is over. They lost the war. And the Hungarian took over. And before April, they gave us all of a sudden bread, a whole bread. I was surprised, and somebody found out the bread was poison. So we didn't eat it. So otherwise, everybody would die. So the Hungarian, there was a crematorium, and there was
How did you find out the bread was poison?
somebody found out. Maybe one or two guys ate it and then didn't make it. We found out. All of a sudden, when they give you at once a lot of bread, that means something is wrong. So we were so many years in concentration camp. So we found out. I didn't find out. Somebody else found out. So we called out and everything. We shouldn't eat it. We didn't eat. And then in April, we were liberated from
Well,
the.
before you were liberated, tell me what it was like. What did you see? There was a lot to see in Bergen-Belsen. What
Yeah,
did you see?
there was an army camp over there, and I think Himmler, he stayed over there. It was a big army camp, and we didn't do too much work over there. It was already the end of the war over there, almost the end of the end till April.
Well, you just said Himmler. Did you know who Himmler
No,
was?
we told him that Himmler was a German, a big man. Himmler, he went there. We had a movie over there, and how you call it? And this was a German concentration, a German army camp. And they told us, in this movie, Himmler was here. Himmler was a big man from the army. So he said Himmler was in this concentration camp, and a lot of those big shots. All was a beautiful army camp. They had a big hospital over there, and after the liberation. When I was working in the concentration camp, I was the small one carrying those tracks where the trains go. I had a dislocation. This was after the liberation. So my left shoulder was out of place. So they had a hospital over there. This was, I think, in almost end of 1945. They operate my shoulder because at night all of a sudden I couldn't move. It was hurting, was out of space, and they drafted skin from my right leg and they added to my shoulder. The Germans who did the operation. This was after the war. And then I was there in the hospital a few weeks and had to do exercise, could move. Well, thanks God, everything was okay.
How do you think you sustained that injury?
Because I was carrying those tracks on my shoulder. But baby, I was the smallest one. Those tracks with the trains go, those big tracks, were very heavy, and I was the shortest one. And I was in the front, and I squashed. Just lucky it didn't happen during the war before 1945. Otherwise, it would kill me. I would be sick. It happened after the war. So I told him where I was in Bergen-Belsen there. When the English came, they took me there to the hospital, and the German hospital in Bergen-Belsen. They operated, they took strep skin, and they added, and thanks, everything was okay.
I want to go back to before the war, before the liberation. Can you describe what it was like in Bergen-Belsen? I mean, how many people, how many nationalities were in
Oh,
Bergen-Belsen?
there was a lot of nationalities over there in Belgium. There was about maybe 10,000 people over there. It was a big army camp over there, German army camp over there. Well, a lot of people. What happened when the liberated from the Germans and they brought us food. They brought us those canned food, those fat cans of food, and people didn't eat for so many years, so they ate it, and they got sick of they got typhus. There was typhus. People were very sick, and the people died. And thanks God, it was a miracle. I didn't eat after so many years. I ate just a piece of bread and a piece of soup. I was healthy, and I was working in the kitchen, and then I was giving to eat to those sick people. I was bringing lunch and things, but anyway, they couldn't make it because after so many years, you eat those fat meat, and then they had typhus. They died one after the other. It was a very bad. But I was blaming the English, the British. They knew after so many years people didn't eat. They shouldn't give us those can of food or whatever. People didn't care. They didn't eat. They start eating it. But some people were thinking it's not good to eat. I didn't eat it. I was healthy, and I was treating those patients. I was working in the kitchen. And there was a crematorium, maybe a mile away, a ladies' crematorium. There were people that died too also. And then that I was never there. But after the war, I went to see it. I went to look to see how it looked. Because it was maybe a mile away. Well, I saw the ovens that they put in the people, and some ladies survived, and then they told us we had 24 hours. We could do whatever we want with the Germans. But I was weighing maybe 60, 70 pounds. I was weak, I was healthy, but still nobody. We only tried to look for find some family. So I had a brother in Poland, in Bergen-Belsen. I went there to Poland. The time I got there, don't ask. I went to the Russian that were occupied there. The Russians were in Poland also after the war. They occupied Poland, and then the Polish army called me up in a truck, and they took me over the boundary there and then to Poland, and then I found a brother there, and after a while I brought back my brother to Bergen-Belsen.
Wait, just for clarification, you said your brother was in Bergen-Belsen. I think what you meant is
Yes,
that when you were in Bergen-Belsen, you found out that your brother was alive in Poland.
right. I had a cousin, and she was also in Poland. She came back from Poland. Her name is Zawadzki. I think she's still alive. She's someplace in Canada. And she told me when she came back, she was in Bergen-Belsen. Matter of fact, she got married in Bergen-Belsen. She says, you have a brother in Poland. So, yeah, where is he? So and so. She gave me the address, and then I went there. And then I found out, then I took him back to Bergen-Belsen.
Okay, I'd like to go back again
Yeah,
to when you were in Bergen-Belsen before liberation. Okay,
yeah,
I thank you for the description of after liberation.
yeah.
But before liberation, what did you see in Bergen-Belsen? What did it look like with all these nationalities, the people? How crowded was it?
Was a big army camp. Was a lot of camps, a lot of bunks, a lot of and all it was nice. Was the army. There was another nice rooms and everything. Was a lot of people, a lot of sick people also, and then we were liberated from the British. And people, they gave us the wrong food, and people died of typhus. A lot of people didn't make it after the liberation. And, and some people survived. Some people, I don't know, they didn't eat whatever they gave, and that's it.
Before liberation, though, did you see? Any sick people? Did you see anything unusual in Bergen-Belsen?
I didn't see it personally, but I had laid down a lot of sick people. But also the Hungarian army worked with the Germans, and they took over the camp because the Germans already left. The young people, only older people were staying there in the villages, and the Hungarian people, they controlled us. They were hitting us, beating us, and make you do some work over there in camp, shoveling snow or do some things. But they were worse than the Germans, because the army took over, the Hungarian army took over. They worked together with the Germans. There was a lot of people, they say, were sick people. I mean, you could see, and later on, some people died. People didn't make it. After so many years, not everybody survived. They were sick all these years, they died.
Could you describe the day of liberation? What did you see?
The day of liberation, the British came and they gave us food, and people started eating the food, and people got sick,
Well,
typhoid.
what did I
What
understood.
was
What did you see?
see, people were happy. All this, we never thought we would be able to make it. And we saw the airplanes in the air, and all the Germans escaped, and everybody, whoever was happy, was very happy, good mood, and everything else. And people were singing whatever they could, was like a wedding, was a very usual things that happened for so many years. We never had that, and that's it. And the British, the British didn't do much good anyway to us, because later on they didn't care about us anyway. The British, they just walked around over there with the woman, with the German woman, and they didn't care about that. They gave us the wrong food and everything else, and we
What do
still.
you mean they walked around with the German
I mean,
woman?
they didn't care about the some. They didn't help us too much. I mean, to take care and ask him what you need and everything. They were busy. They did it because they had to. They were liberated from them. But the Russians did more. The Russians, whenever people were liberated, they burned the houses. They taken the commune. They punished them. But the British, they didn't do anything to the Germans. They didn't say, "Oh, how come so and so?" They asked no questions. They were busy themselves, for themselves. I seen them walking around with the Germans. They gave what's the name, cigarettes and chocolate and everything. They didn't help us too much, the British. We were liberated, okay, because they think, but they didn't try to help you to see you really sick, or to help you this. They didn't care. They didn't care much, the
Did you
British.
see any? Did you see them set up any little makeshift hospitals?
They had a big hospital in
Excuse me.
Bergen-Belsen. The Germans. There was a German army there, so a big German camp over there for the German army. They had outside Bergen-Belsen a big hospital. I was in that hospital because I had a dislocation. In that hospital was thousands of people could fit in that hospital because it was for the army. Yeah. That was there already, that hospital.
Do you remember anybody being disinfected with lice because of the lice?
Yeah, we had lice in we had Wanzen, we had in the first camp. We didn't have no mattresses, we had straw, and we had bogs. This was in Brande, the first concentration camp, because they didn't change the things. As long as we were there, they didn't change anything. Everything we had lice, we had plenty lice. Yeah, yeah.
Where, in which camp did you
This
have
was
lice?
I'm talking about the Brande. Brande. We had straw, no mattresses. We had bogs and everything else over there, because we were dirty. We slept so many people together and everything else. We didn't clean. We had bogs, plenty bogs in Brande. Yeah.
Did you know of anybody who had lice in Bergen-Belsen?
Everybody. I had lice too. Everybody had lice. Oh, we didn't have no hair. We soon we got they shaved us the head and everything. In cassette, they made a part in the middle. In case you escape, they should recognize you. You know. We had all the zero, all taken off all the hair. And soon we got the concentration camp. But in cassette, they made us a part in the center. Just when somebody escaped, you couldn't escape anyway, they should recognize you. And somebody escaped, and then they say, okay, come in, I'm give you some food and everything else. And behind your back, they call the Germans, and they come to arrest you and watch you back to camp. I had people told the story, yeah. They say, okay, somebody made it, to the house, and then they say, okay, they gave you to eat and everything else. And behind your back, they called the Germans, and we found a Jew here, so and so, and that's it. Yeah, they weren't even the private people. The private they may make you that they tried to get you something, they tried to save you. They didn't save you. All knew what's going on. They say all the private. There's some people that say Germany. Oh, wasn't the Holocaust? Wasn't this? Everybody knew what's all about it. Yeah, that's what happened.
How long did you stay in Bergen-Belsen
Oh, but maybe 5 months.
after liberation?
Oh, after liberation, I had an uncle in Germany, Plattling. He had he had a butcher shop, and we were slaughtering uh, cows for the camps who survived concentration camp, kosher. So we were slaughtering some of them. We slaughtered 20 cows, maybe 5 were kosher, and the rest we gave to the Gentiles. And in that kosher meat went to people who survived those camps in Germany. I stayed there. I worked there till 1950. 1950, I came to the United States. I was supposed to go to Israel because when I would go to Israel, they would take me right away to the army. So I didn't want to go. I had a choice. I went to the joint. I want to go to the United States. Anyway, when I came to the United States, was in 1950. They left me to the army here right away. Have to make a report. So what happened? They sent me classification 1A, right away to go in to the war, to fight the German, do in America, American. What was the gun that time or the
Korean.
Korean? So what happened? They sent me a card 1A. This is right away to Korea to go in. So I said my brother was there too, was in Louisville. He said to me, "Did you show him the scar on your arm when they had a dislocation or your leg took death skin?" I says, "I was there. They checked me up all day long, and to the time they sent me probably they saw it." I says, "No, go back and show them that you have a scar here and here." And I went back and I showed it to them. And then later on, they sent me classification 4F. I was disqualified. So my brother helped me. I thought they saw it, but they didn't see it. Everything I was healthy, was everything else, but that scar they didn't see. When you have a scar, they don't take you because you have to.
Hey, we're gonna change tapes.
Okay.
On March 22nd, 2001 with Mr. Harry Langer. Mr. Langer, do you have any feelings about why you survived all of this?
I think it was a miracle. Wait, uh, yes, some people ask me, how can you survive? I have nothing to do with it, just was healthy and did or obeyed whatever I'm supposed to do and try not to get into trouble and try to help myself. It's healthy. That's why that's a miracle.
How has your faith in Judaism been affected by your experiences in the war?
I mean, how it is
How has your faith in God been affected?
good. Gotta be good for me. Yeah, but very good. I try. I was a youngster. I wasn't do anything not supposed to do. I kept up my whatever I could. I was underage, only 13. After you don't do these things, you get punished till 13. You're not don't have to obey all those mitzvahs you're supposed to. Only when you're 13, you become a man. Then you get punished. You do something you're not supposed to do. So I was a minor.
How do you feel about all the innocent people that died?
You can't describe it. That's what's supposed to. That's I don't know. Some people, like innocent people, nice people, who they died. So that's also we had nothing to do with it. It was also Hashem's doing. That's all God's doing. That we have nothing. We can nothing nothing to say. We can blame anybody. That was supposed to be. That's all. We can do nothing about it. That was supposed to be. That's what people say. How come they killed so many 6 million Jews and so innocent people? There's no answer. There's no answer to it. We cannot say because they were nice people, innocent people. That's no answer. That's all. That's God's thing doing. That's all. Yeah, that's what we say. That's what it is. We have nothing to say about it. Then both dying emes. Somebody dies, and they say that's supposed to be. That's God's doing. Both dying emes. That's all. We have nothing to say about it. That's in the Jewish religion. Yeah, that's all. People come and people go. And Shume comes and Hashem takes it back. That nobody lives forever. There's nothing we could do about it. That's the way it goes. That's what it is. No complaining.
Um, I'd like to just briefly hear how you told me how you got out of serving in the American Army because of your 4F status.
Right.
Um, Briefly, how did you make a living in the United States?
Well, in the beginning, the joint tried to give me some food, but I didn't like that. I was healthy. I tried to get a job. I got a job in New York first. I was making 50, 60 cents an hour. That was 1950. Then I didn't like the job. When I moved to Louisville, Kentucky, I tried to get a better job, and I worked in a distillery, whiskey, Kentucky, Bardstown, Kentucky. I know you heard about it. So I traveled maybe 20 miles every day from Louisville. They gave me a hotel, room and board over there. And I was working at the distillery. They kept whiskey in the warehouses, barrels of whiskey. They wheeling from one place to the other. I worked there for a year. In that time, I was making a dollar now. They say it was good money, 1950. Everything was pennies that time. And I worked there for a while. Then I quit. And then I was sick a little. My back was hurting. They didn't find out what it was. And then I called the joint. The joint said, but our doctor didn't. They give me examination. He said, no, we can't find anything wrong with you. The only thing is we could send you to Denver, Colorado. There's a place, JCRS, Jewish Consumptive Relief Society. You need a rest. After concentration camp, so many years, you need a rest. My back was hurting, and God helped me. I stayed there a few months, and I got healthy. And they said we could teach you a trade also if you want to. No money, no nothing. Unless you don't want. I said I don't have no place. I had a brother, but still, my brother was married. I didn't want to go back. I said, okay. I went to Denver, Colorado, and sent me to a school there. And then I learned a trade. This was upholstery. They paid for it, and later on they gave me a little money, not too much. And then happens I met my wife there too. Working with my wife, and after a while we got married. We moved back to New York.
And what is your wife's name?
My wife, what does she do?
What's her name?
Her name is Hannah Lange. Her name is Hannah Lange, and I met her there. And the ladies auxiliary made an engagement there. First, we had to call her parents here in New York, or they agree. Anyway, she wrote. Anyway, we went out, we had a few dates. She sent pictures home. They started asking me where I come from, so and so, this and that. I said it was a concentration camp, so and so. And they agreed. They called pictures, and we got engaged over there in Denver, Colorado. They made an engagement party, the latest auxiliary. Then we came to New York, I think in July, and in August we got married, August 30th.
Do you have any children?
We have a son and a daughter. They're in there.
Please tell me their names.
My name is David Lange and Hailea Lange. Now before, Hailea Solzbeck is her married name. Yeah, but name was Lange. Now it's Solzbeck. They're both married.
How have your experiences during the war affected the way you've brought up your children?
And they affected well. I try everything. Didn't try. I knew what happened during the war, what suffering. I treated them very well. Didn't affect me not. I mean, sometimes I dream about it at night. When I start screaming, my wife says, "You're not in concentration camp. This is the United States. You're free. You don't have to worry about it." Sometimes I dream at night. So I never forget what happened, with my parents, I lost the whole family, but I try to tell my children so and so what happened. You could tell, American children, you could tell them, but if you're not in it, they can't imagine how bad it was, because they're used to hear with everything. They got everything, they got their own room, they got everything, but they can experience what happened in Europe, in Poland, concentration camp. We didn't have anything, not like here in the United States. But I tried my best to raise my children, have great children, great grandchildren also. I have 3 great grandchildren. And I send them to school and try to do my best. I know how it was. And I was raised all by myself, all until I got married. I know how it was here. So I try to give my children the best I could. I send them to school and everything. I teach them. And Baruch Hashem, thanks God, they're doing all right. They understand what they hear about it, they read about it, but still they cannot think how it was, like what really happened in the concentration all these years. They couldn't imagine that was that bad. But I took my I took him, yeah, I was in Poland. I took him to Auschwitz, my son. I think last year I took him. He saw the concentration camp. He was, he saw all these people, all these, the children's shoes, all the suitcases and all the crematoriums, in Auschwitz. I was in Auschwitz. And I showed him that he still couldn't, how it was and what happened and so on and so. That's what happened. That's history.
If you could speak to your parents today, what would you say to them?
Like we say, that I miss you for all these years very much and very emotional. And I wish all these years they were good parents and something happened was it's not their fault and we can't blame anybody. That's what has happened. That's it. We can do nothing about it. Mm. And please forgive me everything what I saw the last time. I couldn't help anybody. They couldn't help anybody either. So that what was shared. That's what happened. They can do nothing about it. I missed you all these years, and that's it. I was raised by myself, and I don't blame him. No, I can't blame anybody. Can't blame anybody. That's what it is. That's it.
Do you blame the Nazis?
Right.
Do
The, the,
you
the, the Germans, sure, but it has to do with God. That you see at the end, if the Nazis they did all these things, they were worse than animals. One animal, the other animal, they don't harm, they don't kill. The Germans, the human being, they say, Dankeschön, thank you, they're nice people, and all of a sudden they became like animals. They start killing people. They say, oh, this and that, we never know what's happened in the war, but they did it. But what a person could be changed. But usually the Germans they say Dankeschön, Bitteschön, thank you very much. They're nice people, and all of a sudden came a Hitler, and they changed their mind, and that's what happened. It can't blame everybody individual, but most of them they were bad. There was some were bad. Hitler came and can't blame everybody, but they say in the ocean they got different fish. Some of them are good and some of them are bad. So that's what happened. But you can't blame everybody. There were. I had some after the war. There were some Germans, and in the last year they saved some people too. They came in. I had on one concentration camp. I wasn't in it, and then one guy, a big guy, came. It was almost the end of the war. It was in '45, and somebody was ready to be killed, and he said, "Hold it, everything, put away all the ammunition," and then he saved him. There were a few good ones too, but most of them were no good.
is there a message you would like to leave your children?
The message, yeah, be yourself, take care of the family, and don't blame anybody. Do what you're supposed to do. Be yourself. Educate your children and tell them all the stories, what's happening. Appreciate what you have now, what we all went through all these years, your parents and everything else, and try to be good and don't harm anybody and live like you're supposed, like a human being. That's all. Don't. Don't do nothing you're not supposed to do. Appreciate your life or what you have now. Remember what was years back. Now you have everything good. Teach your children all these things, good things.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add that I haven't asked you?
What could I say? That can't be. I don't blame. I blame well the Germans and everything else, but God made it like this, and that's what we live now in this world, and God covers every little inch, everything, whatever the good things and the bad things, and don't try to blame anybody, and live your life and do and teach your children all good things, what you have, and appreciate everything. That's all, and be happy. What you have is a very good country here. One should love each other and be happy. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
This is my wife, Hannah Langer, and myself, Harry Langer. My wife immigrated from Germany in 1938, came to the United States, New York. This is my daughter, Leah Stolzberg. My son-in-law, Yossi Stolzberg, got married in 1974 in New York. This is my son, David Langer and Penina Langer. They got married in 1981 in New York. This is my grandchildren, Shani, Avi, Dvore, Ushudov. This is my son's children, grandchildren, Avi, Eli, Yitzi, and Yaakov. This is my wife's mother, Umi Grunberg, my daughter, my wife, my granddaughter. This is my great grandson, Aaron Weiss. This is the entire family at my grandson Avi Solberg's wedding. This is my wife, Hannah Langer, my daughter, Hailea Solberg, and my son, David Langer.
I'm very happy to meet you, Mrs. Langer. Um, could you tell me the circumstances that you met your husband?
Met him out west.
Um, is there anything you'd like to say to your husband? Okay. No, I just meant you, Mrs. Langer. I'll ask your son in a moment.
I could tell it. Hmm? I met him out west. I had to live in Denver, recuperating from pneumonia. He was recuperating.
Thank you. Mr. Langer, is there something you'd like to tell us? And perhaps you could reflect upon what it's been like being raised as the child of a Holocaust survivor.
First, I'd like to begin with saying thank you to Steven Spielberg and the Foundation for doing what they're doing. What they have accomplished is to make sure that nobody ever forgets what has gone through the Holocaust and what the Holocaust did to the Jewish people. This is something that could be forgotten, and if not for Steven Spielberg and the Foundation, God forbid it could have been forgotten. And thank you to you, Florence, for doing such a remarkable job. And from the time we met you, you've put my parents at ease, and my father was a little bit nervous about going through this, and you've made it much more comfortable and relaxing for him that he should be able to tell the story. The story is not really for us. We've heard it live from my father over the many years that we've been living together, and the story is really for the future generations that should be able to hear what these people went through. I visited Auschwitz with my father a few years ago, and it's not to be believed that human beings can go through such torture and remain sane from this terrible tragedy of what took place during the concentration camps. My father's been there for many years, and he came out and rebuilt from nothing a beautiful family, and we're proud of him. And the biggest nakama to Hitler and all the Nazis are, they think that they wiped out the Jewish people, but they didn't. They built up a beautiful heritage. Thank you.
Is there something you'd like to add, Mrs.
I think
Belford?
that my brother said basically what we wanted to say. We're just proud that we have a father like this, and getting emotional. But we didn't realize growing up what he went through, and now that we have our own families, we understand, not that we understand what he went through, because no one can ever understand unless they've been through it, but now we understand what it is to have a family, and God forbid to lose a family, and to be left alone in the world, and to make it on your own, solely on your own, and to be here where he is today, to be a great-grandfather, and to have nachas from his family and his children. It's a miracle.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
all of you.
Thank you.